What is your American dream?
I was born in New York. My American dream is music, and DJing is the one thing that I love.
My family's from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised in the Bronx. My American dream is to achieve success and prosperity through my hard work.
I am from India. I do hope that each one of us realize our own humanity and start helping each other succeed. We are all humanity, and that's the least we should be able to do.
I am from Poland. My American dreams be close to my kids and my grandkids, be happy, enjoy daily life. My dreams are very humble.
I'm from Suriname, South America. My American dream is to take advantage of opportunities to excel at my talents.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. I can talk now.
All right.
All right.
I was waiting too.
I was just freaking Jill out. She's going,
She's like,
"You're
talk,
live, talk," and I'm like, Yonathan Elias.
It's prankster day.
It's prankster day because it is hump day. Maybe we should change one of our days to prankster day.
That'll be funny.
Yeah, prankster Thursday. We do. Who do we do? Who should we do our first prank on? They get so mad at us. Everyone gets so very sensitive. Can you imagine we start pranking Jilly? She would get mad at me.
I'm not.
Who can we prank that wouldn't get mad?
We can prank Jay Rhymes.
Oh, he'd get mad at us eventually.
He'll like Spike or T.
Maybe, yeah, probably. Like I had today. I had a client bring me in. I don't know who it was. Like
some rum cake.
Some cake they baked for me to thank me, but I wasn't in the office when they dropped it off. So I'm like, wait. So I'm like, scary. I'm like, wait a second. Does this client like me or not like me?
Right.
But I was assured that the client liked me.
And you ate it.
I ate it.
And
I'm still here.
Okay.
All right. So thank you very much. I don't want to mention the person's name, right? But thank you very much for bringing me the cake if they're watching. All right. Awesome. Let's say hello to the squad. Why don't we, right? Hello, Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Dion Reed, squad up. Chantel May, squad up. And who else we have here? Yolanda Steele, squad up. Jessica Kalimi, we see you watching. Princess Tenko, Doreen Dappa, squad up as well. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, with all of the camel emojis. Jessica Kalimi, double fisting. On YouTube, Demba Sao, Jalove. Shan, how are you? Ayatol Renault saying, hey, squad. Joan Grant, squad up. The Top Cat, double fisting. Brooklyn Ashitu saying, hello, squad. Across the river, Brooklyn Ashitu. Right across the river. Right. Twinkle K. Or was it Twinkie K? Twinkle K. Saying hello to everybody. Kavar Harris. Amari Tavares, squad up. I went to the eye doctor today, because I literally can't see.
Really?
I don't see nothing.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I could barely see in front of me.
So what do you need? Like glasses?
They gave me like a lot of prescriptions, but I didn't do anything with it.
Are you gonna get glasses?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want to be four eyes.
Oh man, you better get it before you mess up your
I don't look good in four eyes. It's very shallow of me. I've never put on.
You never know.
Nope, I've never put on a pair of glasses that I actually like myself in.
Really?
So it's extraordinarily shallow.
If I needed glasses, I think I would wear them.
I would rather just be blind.
No,
so as we continue, yes, that's a good idea.
Yes.
Denise Johnson, squad up. Earth Angel Perch, squad up. Loretta Williams, which really goes to show, when I say, hey, yo, I'll pick you up, we'll go, take a drive somewhere. You're like, maybe I should drive Brad.
Yeah, right.
Right. Like, wait a second, you don't have your glasses on. All right, and Candy Bump Chanel. Candy Bump Chanel. I like that name.
I like that name.
Saying
too.
hello, everybody. Can mean a lot. Chanel's fancy.
Yes.
Bump means she could be pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Candy means she could be sweet. She could be a sweet, pregnant, fancy lady. I like it. I like it. Yo-Yo, take it away.
Gave her whole life story.
I did. Just in the name. That's in the name. All right, Yo-Yo, take it away.
Of course. All right, squad, you already know what time it is. It is time for you guys to start sharing, because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad, talking headlines, including a report that the Senate is preparing to miss their self-imposed deadline to pass President Biden's Build Back Better bill before Christmas. And of course, it's Holiday Hump Day, so we're going to be talking about top tips for having your best festive sex life this year. Festive sex life.
What is festive sex life versus just a Christmas sex?
If I've not seen the story, if I've not seen the story, but if it is, this is what I would think. Something like, your role play. Role play.
So like you go in as like Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus.
There you go. But like you might not be Mrs. Claus. You might be like Santa's neighbor or something, or a reindeer.
That's gross.
A sexy reindeer.
A sexy reindeer, or Santa's sexy neighbor.
Yes.
Or somebody.
I was going to say a sexy elf, but that would not be good. Because Santa is the boss.
Santa doesn't, yeah. Santa can't be with the elf, that's for sure.
So I guess there's rules to the role play.
Exactly. All right, and of course you can call us. This is an immigration show, and of course you can call us at 1-800-529-5465. That's the telephone number to call to get your immigration questions asked and answered. There's also the telephone number for the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, it's +1 212-227-8933. So if you can't call on a 1-800 number, call +1 212-227-8933. If you call right now, hint, hint, you will get on our show. We have open lines, but generally by the time our schmooze is done, and certainly by the time our hump day is done, the lines will most likely be locked and loaded, and we will not be able to take any more calls. So if you do have an immigration question, call now, not later. 1-800-529-5465. As I said, internationally, it's +1 212-227-8933. As I say on every show now, because we always get this question, Yo-Yo, how do you call Brad? We have the number scrolling at the bottom of the screen for the entire show.
The entire show.
The entire show. And then we generally have a man who does not look like my body, looks like The Rock, with my head on it, with a sign that says, call me with your immigration question, 1-800-529-5465. Later in the show, we are going to be out on the streets, Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
Not me, but somebody's out on the streets.
Probably me.
It is you, Yo-Yo. You are. It says the card says we will be on the streets, but quite frankly, I was toasty inside. Yo-Yo was out on the streets for another edition of Bradified Marriage, where Yonathan put a couple, Hector and America. Quite an apropos name for the Bradified Marriage, Hector America, to the test to see if they can pass the Stokes interview given by USCIS. All right, you ready for some schmoozing?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, it is December 15th, and we were promised by the Democrats that they would have Build Back Better passed before Christmas, including some plan, A, B, or C, with immigration or some combination of it. But unfortunately, it is looking dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes, that President Joe Biden's $1.7 trillion safety net bill, which will include, hopefully, some form of immigration benefits for millions and millions of people, will be passed by the end of the year. It's simple math, Yo-Yo. They don't have 50 votes. Simple, simple math. The decision is also in part because Senate Democrats haven't finished negotiating the bill. Provisions on state and local taxes, that's the SALT deduction, Yo-Yo. Are you familiar with the SALT deduction? So you were allowed to deduct your state taxes from your federal taxes. Donald Trump and the Republicans took that away. So it affects people in states that are highly taxed, like New York and California.
Got you.
Pumpkin didn't care about New York and California because people who voted for him are not from those states. And it helps people from states with low state taxes, which would be Texas, Florida, and some of the other states where there are low state taxes. And what happens now after Trump passed his tax bill, people in low state taxes saw their tax bills go down. People in high state taxes, even though they were paying less than federal, saw their taxes go up because you couldn't deduct your state and local taxes from your federal bill. So the Senate Democrats are trying to reinstate some form of that as well, and also some environmental issues as well. So because of that, and we still haven't heard from the parliamentarian about A, B, or C. I don't have to go through it. I've talked about it ad nauseum. Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum. So we're still waiting to hear A, B, or C. And as a matter of fact, there's some leaked, some anonymous sources coming out of the U.S. Senate saying the vote could be delayed as far down as March 2022.
Oh, wow.
So we were told it would be done before Halloween. Then we were told it would be done before Thanksgiving. Then we were told it would be done by Christmas. And now the anonymous leaks. And by the way, anonymous leaks are never really leaks. They're just kind of trial balloons to, it's all done on purpose.
Yeah.
It's all trial balloons to see how the public's going to react to it before they make an official announcement that it would be March. Now, Schumer claims he's not throwing in the towel. He says the president and our friend, our quoted friend, Senator Manchin, they're still having discussions and waiting to see the outcome of those discussions. One of the big issues that's going to have trouble, the Democrats are going to have trouble doing, is if inflation continues to rear its ugly head, and we are in a state of inflation at this very moment. It will be extraordinarily difficult for the U.S. government to now spend $1.7 trillion additional money, because as the government spends money that they don't have, you are making the value of money less valuable, which causes inflation. All right, so it could be a problem if inflation doesn't get taken care of in the next few months. It's going to cause the Democrats to even have a harder time passing some of these bills. The one thing that they are trying to do is pass voter reform as well. We need voter reform as desperately as we need anything else, because without voter reform, we don't have a proper working democracy. People's votes are taken away from them, yo-yo. People are disenfranchised. States redistrict and put all of the Democratic vote, all of the minority vote in a big cluster, so it doesn't count as much as other areas. So, and they redistrict in weird ways. It's not without logical sense, other than to cluster a lot of Democratic votes in one section, so that way the other sections that are voting within that particular state or counties or however they redistrict has more Republican votes. So if you have, for example, let's say you have 500,000 Democratic votes in the state, and you have 500,000. This is why redistricting is so important, okay, and it's a big issue. Let's say hypothetically you have 500,000 Democratic votes in the state, you have 500,000 Republican votes in the state, and they redistrict, and they put all 450,000 of the 500,000 Democrats in one area. So that's one congressman, okay? And then all of the other 8 congressmen from that state all end up becoming Republican. And it's like a weird line, however they divide it. And that's how the Republicans stay in power. Because the majority of people still vote Democrat. Majority of people voted for Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump won. It was partly because of the Electoral College. It's redistricting. It's everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So they want to pass a voting rights bill to make it easier for people to vote, to make it less restrictive for states to restrict people from voting, whether it's making people travel long distances, eliminating voters who do mail-in ballots, and many other things that states do to restrict voting. And mostly the Republicans, they do it to restrict minority voting. And by the way, the Democrats are just as guilty in Democratic states. They bundle Republicans together to keep the Democrats in power. So they want to try to eliminate some of this, rezoning to try to game the system, as well as some of the other voting problems that the United States has. So as a result, they want to eliminate the filibuster from the Senate, which is 60 votes to pass a bill. So also they are in discussions with Senator Manchin about that as well. Now, why that's important for immigration is if they do eliminate the filibuster, it's possible, even if Build Back Better doesn't pass, they have a Democratic majority in the House of Representatives, and it is possible they can then pass an immigration bill and not worry about the parliamentarian whether or not this is a budget or a new law. So now all of a sudden, if they pass the bill, they've changed the rules in the Senate to say we're going to pass bills with a simple majority of 50 people, they don't need the parliamentarian anymore to say this is a budget reconciliation issue or this is a new law. And now all of a sudden, we're talking all over again about immigration reform. So that's why it's very important to see what happens with the voting rights bill. Because if they allow a majority vote for that, they're going to allow a majority vote for everything. Meanwhile, yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security announced, Yonathan, that the United States is committing for the first time to define statelessness. Do you know there are people living in the United States right now who have no country? They don't have a passport. They may not have identification. I have several of those clients. It's very difficult for them to prove they are who they are.
Wow.
And as a result, they have big problems. Stateless people have problems getting immigration benefits, because you have to go take a biometric fingerprint, for example.
Right.
You need photo ID. Well, if you have no status here, where are you getting your photo ID from? It always starts from the passport from your particular country.
So these people don't have.
They don't have.
Wow.
They can't go to an embassy to get a passport. There are over 200,000 people stateless living in the United States right now who have no passport, no country that they call home. And the United Nations has always defined stateless people, but the United States has never defined it. So for instance, as I said, the United States stateless people don't have identity documents, and they have trouble proving they are who they are to get any immigration benefits whatsoever. Now, the move can help perhaps 218,000 people who don't have passports in the United States of America. Because once you define who a stateless person is, you can now make rules to assist them if they don't have a passport, how they can prove they are who they are. Right now, there's no rule anywhere to prove that anybody is who they are unless they have photo identification.
Right.
So this is a good first step for the many stateless people in the United States of America who have no identification, no passport, no nothing.
That's good.
And last night, I don't know if you saw, the Democratic-controlled House voted to pursue criminal charges against the former Pumpkins White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows. He failed to appear for a deposition regarding the January 6th insurrection. Strange. He used to be a congressman, and he used to demand that people come in front of him for depositions. And how dare they? How dare they ignore a congressional subpoena? So now, when it's on the other side, he's ignoring it.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is, before he ignored it, he was cooperating with the January 6th committee. He gave over all of his emails. In those emails, there are all sorts of emails from others in Congress, Donald Trump Jr., people from Fox News, urging him to speak to Donald Trump to stop the insurrection. It shows two things. Number one, that whatever Donald Trump said, or whatever the Republicans said, that this was just people who came to because their story was, people came to a rally, they got angry, I never told them to do anything. But apparently everybody in the Republican Party was urging Donald Trump in secret emails to stop this immediately, which means two things. One, Trump knew what was going on. They knew Trump could stop it, which means that it was pre-planned, and Trump knew about it, and the Republicans in the White House knew about it, and certainly some congressmen knew about it, as a pre-planned insurrection, perhaps even a coup, to run the United States after losing an election. I mean, the reality is, Donald Trump was one vice president away from overthrowing the United States Constitution. If Mike Pence did what Trump wanted him to do on January 6th, who knows if the Constitution... I mean, we were literally one vice president away. One man... I don't particularly like the guy.
Which is why they wanted to overthrow him,
right? Which is when... And by the way, which is why the crowd was yelling, "Hang Mike Pence."
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why they were doing that.
Yeah. So
that was the first time I was like, "Oh, okay, Pence is."
And by the way, Meadows is saying, "Well, I've decided now that Trump has executive privilege. I can't talk for President Trump. I can't talk about anything that was said in front of President Trump because that's a privileged conversation between me and the president." And he's using that to avoid having to come and be deposed by Congress. Now, two things he's thinking. Number one, that he's going to ride this out through October. The Republicans will take over, and that will be the end of the committee, because once the Republicans take over the Congress, that's it. And number two, if in fact these emails that are being leaked out are true, which you would believe they are, he's probably looking at more criminal liability because he participated in what is now appearing to be a attempted coup of the United States of America, that he potentially, by being deposed, is opening himself up to more criminal liability by trying to overthrow a free and fair election in the United States of America than he is by not participating in a deposition and going to jail for 6 months. I think he's looking at more liability by being deposed, because they're not giving him immunity from his testimony. And I think his testimony is going to show either he's perjuring himself, which could lead to severe jail time if you perjure yourself, or if you admit to trying to overthrow the United States government.
Right.
To me, given the choice of all three, I'd rather not show up and do 6 months in jail on a misdemeanor for not appearing at a deposition. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Some of the text messages, I mean, they knew about it. Texts from unnamed lawmakers were sent to Meadows, said that former Vice President Mike Pence should call out all electoral votes that he believes are unconstitutional as no electoral votes at all.
Wow.
Which means that people were urging Meadows to urge Pence to overthrow the government. This was all read out, by the way, by Representative Liz Cheney of Wyoming. Cheney said other texts were sent in real time about the events as they unfolded. These text messages leave no doubt the White House knew exactly what was happening here at the Capitol. In a third text to Mark Meadows, see, he was the chief of staff of Trump. He was Trump's right-hand man. All right, and now the January 6th committee has all his emails and text messages. In a third, it says, Mark, protesters are literally storming the Capitol, breaking windows on doors, rushing in. Is Trump going to say something? Another text message, there's an armed standoff at the House chamber door. We are all helpless here.
Sheesh.
Okay, he got text messages from Fox News. As the violence continued, Donald Trump Jr. texted Meadows as well. He's got to condemn this ASAP. His son is telling Trump to condemn it. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough. Cheney continued. Donald Trump Jr. texted again and again, urging action by the president. So if everybody's texting Trump
Right.
to say, call off the dogs, and texting Meadows to tell Trump to call off the dogs, call off these rioters, this is too much now. Are you saying me he didn't know? He claimed he was in the White House. He didn't know what was going on.
He knew.
Okay. He claimed that he had nothing to do with even people rioting. He didn't tell anybody. They all knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
There's even text messages from to Mark Meadows asking from people who are organizing the event, asking for the National Guard to come and protect them. Well, if they weren't going to do anything, why did they need protection? And then why was the National Guard never called to help the Capitol Police who were being overrun? Where were they? They were all told to stand down.
Right.
It was a pre-planned coup. So if Mark Meadows' choice of either testifying about a coup he was helping to attempt to overthrow the U.S. government in a free and fair election, or going to jail for not showing up to a deposition, I would take
that 6 months.
The 6 months all day long. So that's what's going on there. And what's going to be interesting is because the Democrats have a timeline. You know, assuming they're going to lose Congress in November, this whole thing has to be wrapped up by the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
Because once the Republicans take control, they're going to close down the entire investigation.
Oh.
And in coronavirus news, congratulations to the United States of America. And I'm being, I guess, not ironic, but sarcastic.
Oh, no.
Yes, sarcastic.
That's what I thought you were going to say, but I was like, nah, you can't be sarcastic with this.
Yeah,
no.
I'm being sarcastic with it anyway because it's so ridiculous. The United States has surpassed 800,000 COVID deaths. It is the most COVID deaths of any country in the entire world.
Sheesh.
We now lead the entire world in COVID deaths. And by the way, most of the deaths these days are coming from unvaccinated people. These are all deaths that many, not all, many that can be avoided. Right now, the United States is averaging 1,200 deaths per day. It's like, you know, there was about 3,000 people that died, approximately a little over 3,000 people that died in the World Trade Center during 9/11. It's like having a 9/11 twice a week.
Sheesh.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like having a 9/11 twice a week. Meanwhile, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals issued on, and not that I'm comparing COVID to 9/11 because it was a terrorist attack and this is a virus, just saying in terms of the deaths. Mm-hmm. And there's not as much outcry over the deaths of COVID as 9/11. People were up in arms over 9/11.
Yeah.
They're not up in arms over COVID. I think we're tired of COVID. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because it's been happening for so long,
Yeah.
like, you know, and when you constantly hear about stuff, you kind of get desensitized.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Meanwhile, Biden had a partial win in the federal courts to require COVID vaccinations for healthcare workers. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals issued an order effectively allowing the mandate to be enforced in about half the states. The only states that do not have to enforce the mandate are the 14 states that originally brought the lawsuit to not have their healthcare workers be vaccinated. Biden also has some other policies that are working their way through the court, including companies with more than 100 employees must vaccinate all their employees or terminate them.
Oh.
That's working their way through the courts right now as well. That is our schmooze, but we have some hump day somewhere. Do we have?
Let out the camels.
We have some camels.
It's hump day.
There we are.
Let them
It's
out.
hump day.
Now these are non-Botoxed camels,
Yes.
Yonathan.
Yeah, we have
We don't
the real
Botox.
deal.
We don't Botox our camels.
We don't Botox ours.
Right.
It's natural beauty.
Our camels are beautiful naturally, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, couples are erecting Christmas trees in the bedroom, Yo-Yo. Yes, experts say that people find the sight of the green prickles. It's kind of funny that they use that word, the green prickles, and smell of pine, the ultimate turn on, and they're using the Christmas trees to perk up their love lives. 1 in 6 customers at the Gardening Express, which I guess is either a large Christmas tree outlet or something, but they're saying 1 out of 6 are putting their Christmas tree in the bedroom. One female customer explained, "My boyfriend was dead against the tree in the bedroom, but I said we could stay in bed all day on Christmas, and that won him over." Do you think people are putting the Christmas tree in the bedroom or because it's always, the traditional place is the living room.
Yeah.
Where do you put your Christmas tree?
In the living room, but I did say that once I get a bigger place, I was gonna put a smaller Christmas tree in my bedroom.
Why? Is it to perk up your sex life?
No.
Because you want to look at it during Christmas on Christmas Day and just lie in bed?
Yeah. So I have
more
options.
festive.
I have options.
You have
I can
options.
wake up to a Christmas tree.
Right. But it has nothing to do.
No.
All right. Meanwhile, a London sex expert has revealed her top tips for having the best festive sex life during the Christmas holidays. And her name is Stella Anna Sonnebaum, and she has a few fun tricks. She said one of the biggest pieces of Christmas sex advice, don't buy any sexy presents without a warning.
Oh.
She said never ever buy your partner sexy underwear or sexy lingerie, and never ever buy them anything, toy related, unless you are 95% sure they're going to appreciate it. Because if they're not going to appreciate it, it's going to be a surprise. They could be offended.
Yeah.
They could be
turned off.
They could be embarrassed.
Yeah.
And it could cause a huge problem over Christmas.
Yeah.
So she says it's better to go to these type of stores, the sexy stores, together, rather than do a surprise. I think so too.
Yeah, that's smart.
Right? She says also, beware of sex at the in-laws' house.
Oh.
All right. Christmas invariably spends time at your parents' house. She says you may share a house with the in-laws and you'll be in your private room. But you want to bring any of the noise and all of that commotion.
Awkward.
Right. All of a sudden the bed is banging against your mother-in-law's.
That would be awkward.
She's saying don't do it. Don't even try.
Yeah.
And what she does say is bring Christmas into the bedroom.
Okay.
Which is bringing
the role plays.
Bringing the role plays, yes. Dress as a sexy Santa or sexy Mrs. Claus.
Right.
Right? But not as a sexy elf.
Not as a sexy elf.
What about as Santa's sexy next door neighbor?
I like what Dionne Reed said.
What?
Santa's side chick.
That could be funny too.
Yeah.
All right. And what else is happening here? All right. So an Amazon driver was fired after scantily clad women were caught slipping out the back door. What does this even mean?
This is trifling.
This is trifling?
Yeah.
Okay. This story brings new meaning to sex drive and could be the reason some of your holiday packages are being late or not even being delivered.
Right.
A Florida Amazon driver was fired after scantily clad barefoot woman was filmed climbing out of the back door of his Amazon truck.
Yes.
A new viral video documented the scandalous incident, amassed 11.7 million views on TikTok. The 11-second footage, originally uploaded on October 24th, shows that the now fired Amazon courier Twain George opening the back of his van, whereupon a blonde woman in a black mini dress hopped out.
Yes.
So that is
Look at
that is just
Look at
basically
Trifling.
And this is the Amazon.
And look at him just like letting
like,
her out
"See
like it's his house.
But I don't even know what to say about that.
I think that's trifling.
That is very trifling. And finally, Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
On our final hump day of the year.
Oh.
Yes. A tree farm in Utah is going viral because the lumberjacks that work on the farm decided to serenade the people with an all-male, sexy Magic Mike dance review. Derek Peterson, owner of the Peterson Tree Care in Elk Ridge, Utah, had a fantastic year in December 2020, selling out all his Christmas trees in a record-breaking 11 days. So to thank the community for their patronage, he and his brothers, or his bros, that work at the lot decided to do a striptease-esque performance to Bishop Briggs River and share the video on social media. These sexy lumberjacks are straddling tree trunks, they're sliding down poles, they're chopping down trees, and they're doing it all as sexy lumberjacks.
That is smart. Look at, they are really on these poles.
Well, the lumberjacks are strong. You got to be strong to be cutting down. Yeah. So for the inspiration behind the video, Peterson said that I happened to just be driving down the road and that song came on. I thought we ought to do a dance to that. And he said he's not shocked that the video has gone viral because it checks out 2 of the 3 major sexy categories: lumberjacks and dudes who can dance.
Yeah, come on, Magic Mike was like.
What is the third sexy category?
I mean, anything that has to do with Channing Tatum.
But he said it covers 2 out of the 3. So being a lumberjack was 1, being able to sexy dance was 2. But what is the third one?
Holidays.
Abs.
The
muscles.
Holidays? No, Christmas is kind of sexy.
I don't know. But it's gone viral. All right, so that is our Hump Day news of the day. And in this edition of TikTok Time, I answer questions about marriage to a U.S. citizen filing for his children. Let's watch.
Congratulations on your marriage. You don't need to update anything unless you are moving addresses, and then at that point you need to do an AR 11 and change your address with immigration. Or if you plan on using your spouse's last name, then you need to make a replacement for your green card in your now married name. Other than that, there's nothing to do, and 1 more year you'll file your citizenship based on 5 years of being a lawful permanent resident. Congratulations on your marriage and good luck. If you're not married, then your husband can file a fiancé visa for you. It will take about 9 months, 10 months. If you're married, your husband files an I-130 visa petition for you. It'll take closer to 18 months. Good luck. Well, the question I have for you is, where are you? Where is your husband? Where is your children? Because there's different processes depending on if you're in the U.S., if you're abroad, and where your family is, if they're in the United States or abroad. But file, that's the fastest way. If your mother's a U.S. citizen filing for married daughter and her spouse and children, it's over 15 years, maybe longer. It's a long time. We've got to figure out another way.
All right, it's meat and potatoes time. You got an immigration question? I've got a song, that's for sure. There's supposed to be some coffee. Coffee. It's not coffee talk. We'll get it. We have time. Or should we just skip that part, Jill? What do you think?
They already know.
They already know it's time?
Yes.
Well, no, there was no...
There
it is. Now I'm getting in. We never even had that before. Now we have it right. We missed that part. Now we're ready to go. Let's go to Jamila in Atlanta. Jamila. Hi, Jamila.
Hello.
Hi, Jamila. How are you?
Yes. This is Jamila.
Yes. What can I do to help you? You're live on the air.
Yes. My question is, if a woman is about to marry a guy that's not from this country, and she's about to open up a business in America, can she legally add him onto her actual business, being that he's not American yet and they're not legally married, but they're about to be?
What do you mean by legally add him onto the business? You want him to be a part owner of the business?
Well, if the woman is in the process of opening a business, she wanted to put her future husband on the business with her as a partner. Can she legally do that?
Yeah, you don't have to be in the United States of America to own part of a business. They can.
You don't have to be American to go into business with someone that is American.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Now, when you open up a business, it could be just a partnership, and you can have an agreement, whether it's oral or written. You could actually open up a corporation and split the shares 50-50 between the two of you, however you want to organize it.
Oh, okay, because I was talking to a lady that's going to help me register it, and she said that there are some things that I guess the person can't be on because they have to show legal residence.
Well, it depends. If you're going to be, for example, a subchapter S corporation, you would not be able. As part of being a subchapter S, you can't have foreign ownership. Okay, but there's other things you can do. You can do a limited liability partnership or a limited liability corporation, depending on what your business is. And as a limited liability corporation or a limited liability partnership, you can have foreign ownership. So it depends on how you structure it. If we're getting into details about corporations now.
Oh, okay. So it can be an LLC.
It can be an LLC, but it can't be a subchapter S. But as a general, yeah, you can be partners with anybody.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's go to Jacqueline in Brooklyn. Hi, Jacqueline.
Yes, Jacqueline.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm all right. This is the cut to the chase. My husband, I'm a U.S. citizen, and he was deported out of this country in 2003. So when he boarded the plane, they put him out of this country. He boarded the plane. The officer told him that to have your wife to petition you to come back after 20 years. So it's coming up on 19 years now. And so as a wife and everything, though, could I get him to come back again by signing a petition for him to come back again here to the U.S.?
What was he deported for?
He was deported for a phony passport. And it was on a felony, huh?
A phony U.S. passport.
To come here. You know how they make up these phony passports to come here?
Well, 1 second. Was it a United States passport or was it a different country's passport?
A different country passport.
Okay. And then, so he got stopped at the border and got sent home.
No, he didn't get stopped to the border. No. What it was, we got married. He got married here in 2002.
Uh-huh.
And I dated him about 2 years, and he was put out the country before that in 1999. And he came back in, stayed here for a while, and stayed for a while. And, we got married, and like I said, I dated him for 2 years. And so he got a letter from...
So basically what happened is he had a re-entry after prior deportation.
Yes.
Okay. But he was inspected when he came back with that re-entry after prior deportation. So the answer is yes, you can file for him now after 20 years. So
I can file for him after 20 years?
Yeah, so you can put in the petition now. You just can't go to the embassy for 20 years. From the time
I can put in a petition right now, right?
And you need a waivers, obviously, but yes, there's a possibility.
You think he can be able to come back?
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let's go to David in Fort Lauderdale. David.
Hello.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
My question is that I was married in 2016, and I filed for everything. I filed for my adjustment. Can you hear me?
I'm listening.
Okay. I filed for my adjustment, and I got my I-130 approved, but I was deported in 2006, came back 2007, but I came through like on a Greyhound, like through inspection. I went through immigration, so the lawyer told me I could adjust here.
Well, how did you get inspected on a Greyhound bus?
Well, when I went through it's a checkpoint, so the immigration, he came on and asked me for my ID. I said I had an ID. I lost all of my stuff, and I'm trying to get home. And he said, okay, well, I said, because I was in Laredo, and he said, well, okay, well, just be careful. But you really and then I went through on the bus.
Okay. But you have no evidence of any of this?
No, so no evidence. So they give me my work permit. They approve my I-130. I went to my interview. So they deny my adjustment because they said I didn't have enough evidence. So my lawyer now he's putting a motion to reconsider. So, but my question is, if they pass the law with Joe Biden, would I be able to apply for that and maybe go home and come back?
When did you come to the U.S.?
Well, in 2007.
You would if the Joe Biden bill passes, you would get the parole, and presumably either you would be able to adjust immediately or get advanced parole leave and come back. Yes.
Oh, that's it. Because
I've never seen anybody argue successfully before USCIS something similar to what you're saying. Although technically, yes, you were inspected. The only way you win those cases is before a judge in deportation. You don't want to file these papers just to get put in deportations for that.
Yes,
I probably would have, in hindsight, and this is hindsight, but I probably would have done it as a provisional waiver.
What kind of waiver?
Provisional waiver.
But I did a waiver also, but they denied the waiver. I did the waiver.
You did a provisional waiver?
What is a provisional waiver?
For you to go home to pick up your green card and come back and avoid the 10-year bar.
Oh, okay. I didn't do that. I did not do a provisional waiver.
That's what you should have done, or you can still do if you choose to. That's the
process. I can still do a provisional waiver to go home and come back?
Yes. You need help. You need help. Hold on one second. Let's go to Vivian in the Bronx. Vivian.
Hold on. Hello.
Hi, Vivian. How are you?
I'm good. I'm asking one question.
Yes.
You're a green card holder. You're filing for your son, but he's in America. Yeah, you get your green card 5 months ago, and you're filing for your son, but he's in a different state. How long does that take for him to get through? He's like 16 years old.
Okay, what is your son's status right now?
I don't.
You just got your green card.
Yes.
And who sponsored you?
My daughter.
Okay, what is your son's status? Has he overstayed on his visa?
Yes.
Who does he live with?
His aunt.
Where's his father?
His father was a citizen but died in Boston.
His father was a citizen and died.
Yes.
And was his father a citizen when he was born or after he was born?
After he was born.
How did the father get his green card?
I really don't know.
Was he married? Did he get sponsored by another family member?
I don't know, but I know that all of his family was living in Boston.
Okay. How long has your son been in the United States?
1 year.
Okay. So my answer is this. You can file an I-130 visa petition for him. He would have to leave the United States before he turns 18, go back to Jamaica, pick up his green card and return. It'll take about 2 years, but he has to be out of the country before he's 18. Alternatively, perhaps his aunt would want to do legal guardianship for him, show that the biological father's passed and he can't be reunited with a deceased father, and then he can do a SIJ case and get his green card here. That's probably how I would handle it.
So he has to go back?
You didn't understand a word I just said to you. The answer is yes. If you file for him, yes. But there's another option of having the aunt get legal guardianship, proving it's not in the child's best interest to be reunited with a deceased parent, which is pretty straightforward, and doing a special immigrant juvenile. This entire family needs help. Hold on one second, because it's too loud. You don't understand what I'm saying, and you need a consultation. Let's go to Sekou in Hyattsville, Maryland.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
All right. I have a question. My mom is a U.S. citizen right now. Who happened to my father unfortunately passed away last year, and he lives back home. He was married to another woman, and they have children together. Can my mom petition for my stepbrothers and sister as for stepchild?
Was she ever married to your father?
Yeah.
Okay, but she divorced your father, right?
No, my mom and my dad, they are still married. But with the other, he passed away last year.
Okay. So when he passed away, he was married to your mother.
Yeah,
And he has children from another relationship with somebody else.
correct.
Okay. And how old are these children now?
They are over 21.
How long was your mom married to your dad?
Close to 40 years.
Okay, so he had these children while married to your mother, he had affair with somebody else and had these children?
No, back home, we are literally legally to marry two wives.
Oh, I see. I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the answer is if the children were born and were under 18 at the time your mother was married to your father, then she can file as a step-parent, provided she was the one who was in the first legal civil marriage with your father. If she was wife number 3, then they would not consider that marriage or wife number 2, because then it was a bigamous marriage. They're only going to recognize the first legal civil marriage certificate.
Yeah, she is wife number 1.
So she's wife number 1, and these children were born and were under 18 at the time of the civil marriage between your mother and your father. Yes, she can file for them. She just has to show an independent relationship with them.
Yeah, we have all that.
So
the oldest
yes.
her child is 27.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, so do you know how long, what's the average wait time?
Where are they?
They are back home right now in Guinea.
About 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. Let's go to Liz in Marietta, Georgia.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep. How are you?
I'm good. How are my 2 favorite guys on YouTube?
Oh, wow. But now let me ask you a question. Not that there's a competition between me and Yonathan.
No, don't do it. Listen, y'all, I watched this show for a couple years now. You're my 2 favorite guys.
She's going to say, I love you equally. How's that? All right. Thank you very much, Liz.
First of all, I love your name because that's my mom's name.
Cool.
Okay.
So, I am married to a Nigerian foreign national.
Right.
We're already at the embassy. We actually have an expedited case.
Great.
The thing is that I had to have surgery in the first week of November. When they picked it up, to acknowledge that they picked it up, that was the second week of August. So we're 67 days past the 30 days that they give you.
Right.
Right. So my question is, what can be done, number 1, and number 2, is anything going to be done considering I've already had the surgery? Now, I do have other humanitarian grounds for it, which was listed in the expedited case.
Well, I'm sure you have recovery issues and other things down the line. If they promise to expedite it, they promise to expedite it. That's the position I would take. And the only people who can move this along are the people at the U.S. Embassy, which would require either you or your representative to pick up the telephone, get somebody on the line, and, start, you don't want to scream and yell at anybody, because screaming and yelling doesn't, nobody works for people who scream and yell at you. But, you want to be forceful enough to, get what you need, which is you're a U.S. citizen, you were promised this service, and you didn't get it.
So basically congressional pressure at this point.
Literally you getting on the phone, calling the U.S. Embassy, hello, Nigeria. It's not the Congress, because Congress doesn't run the U.S. Embassy.
Well, I meant the state representative is what I meant, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, but it's you calling, or somebody, or your representative contacting them.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Anthony in Fort Myers.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
About a month ago, I came through the Mexico border, running for my life, basically, because my family was being persecuted, in my home country.
Where are you from?
So, Jamaica.
Okay.
So I would like to know, if I could file for asylum, and how is that possible, if it is possible?
How long have you been here in the U.S.?
1 month.
The answer is yes. You can file for asylum within 1 year. I don't know why you're being persecuted, but you may want to have a consultation with me, but the answer is yes. You have 1 year from the time you enter to file for asylum.
Okay, so being that I entered like unlawfully,
doesn't matter.
How would I?
You file
it doesn't
asylum.
matter. Okay, thank you so much. Like, how do I get to your office, though?
Hold on 1 second. Let's go to Sam in Alexandra.
Hi.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
Good. Good evening. I have a question. My question is, I applied for U.S. citizenship before 5 months, and I made it, and all the process, like biometric, everything, I finished. And I'm waiting the last for the interview date paper. But when I mail it, after when I print out and mail it, now when I start to study and looking for all the questions, I missed to mark one question.
What did you mismark?
For example, from question 12 up to 50, there is a question. In the box, to mark the box. When the computer, the computer is glitched, and that's what I saw. When I start to study, I found that on the paper. I missed one.
So
interview date,
you can fix everything at the interview. So any errors that you feel you made on the application, when you sit down with the officer, the first words out of your mouth are, I have some errors on the application I want to correct.
You mean the interview day?
Correct.
When he's asking me,
correct.
I can't tell him that
correct.
I missed because of the computer glitch.
Whatever your reason is, you have the right at your interview to correct your application.
I have to write a letter, or
no.
I have to tell them?
When you get scheduled for an interview, they're going to bring you into a room for an interview. They're going to sit you down. The officer's going to say, hi, I'm Officer Jones, whatever his name is. And you're going to say, hello, Officer Jones. Before we start the interview, I just want you to know that I have some corrections I want to make on the application. And the officer will say, okay, we'll do it now, we'll do it later, whatever the officer tells you to do. But that's when it's done.
Okay, that's not a big problem, sir.
Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Good luck.
Okay.
Let's go to Jacqueline in Quebec, Canada.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What can I do to help you?
I have a question regarding my status, not my status, but I overstayed my visit during COVID in the United States.
Are you a Canadian citizen?
Yes.
Okay, so why do you say you overstayed? They usually don't give Canadian citizens the time, how long you have to stay.
I didn't know that I overstayed until I tried entering back into the United States in November.
I see. How long did you stay in the U.S.?
I stayed for 14 months.
Ah, I see. Right.
I had medical conditions that restricted me from traveling from the U.S. to Canada. I suffered with abdominal hernias postpartum.
Okay.
My children, my babies that I was traveling with at that time were only 13 months old.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you need to come back to the U.S. now?
My husband lives in the U.S. He is currently under asylum. We've been married since 2017. I've been living primarily in Canada, but I go in and out to just visit him, spend some time with him to spend time with my children. I don't primarily live in the United States. We go like 2 months, 3 months, visit him, come back.
Okay,
and
the issue is twofold. One is you stayed a long time in the U.S., which shows the intention of living in the U.S. Number two, you have a husband who has a pending asylum application in the U.S., and they're going to think when you come with your children that you're coming to live here. You're not coming to visit. So, they're not going to let you back in at the airport. You have to go to the U.S. Embassy to get a visitor's visa now at this point. And my concern for you is you're going to say, I am going to visit my husband who has a pending asylum application with my children, and they're going to believe the same thing that they think at the border.
Okay.
So, it's problematic for you. And now, in terms of the 14 months, what you're going to need to do is two things. One is bring a lot of medical proof that what you're saying is correct. You couldn't travel. And number two, bring proof that you have ties to Canada. You do not intend to live in the United States of America. You and your children intend to live in Canada. And by the way, if you do, why is your husband not applying for Canadian residence?
He has settled his business and his ties to the United States before even us getting married. We got married because we thought, like, back in 2018, he was going to get his hearing, and we thought that he might get some answers, but he didn't get it at that time. Me, primarily, I do want to live in Canada. I am a certified LVN here. I did want to continue my studies, get my RN degree.
What's it? Oh, an LPN?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you need to go to the embassy. You need to show, I have a really good excuse why I stayed 14 months, and here's all my documentation. I do not intend to live in the United States.
Okay. I do have currently a job in Canada. My children are registered. Their birth certificates are registered here in Quebec. They do get Canadian child support and Quebec child support.
You're talking to the wrong person. You got to argue that before the embassy.
Okay. So do I call you in person for the appointment, or just I call the embassy and get the appointment first?
You go online and make the appointment.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
And if you have a problem that's when you call me.
Okay.
All right.
So the embassy will let me know what I need to do next.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And if you're not sure what to do, then have a consultation with me. All right. That's up to you.
But me being married to
you being married to somebody is going to be a big problem for you. I already foresee it.
Okay.
I'm just being frank.
Yes.
All right. Hold on if you need help. Let's go to Richard in Pleasantville, New Jersey.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, first of all, thank you for what you guys do.
My pleasure.
My question is, how long does a field office take to process a RFE for a medical exam? Before you answer that, let me give you
How long does a USCIS field office take to file a waiver on a medical exam? Is that your question?
No, to process an RFE for a medical exam. Okay. So let me give you a little bit of background for my spouse's case. She has a removal order, but she's an arriving alien, which means USCIS has jurisdiction over her. We did the interview back in October, and then at the beginning of November, we received a request for evidence for a medical exam.
Right.
Apparently, the one we provided was the old version of the medical exam, so we submitted a new one. But we haven't heard back from them.
It's 100. They have, by regulation, 120 days.
Oh, so is it normal, that delay in this type of
it's
cases?
November. We're only 30 days into it. Yes, it's normal.
Yeah. All right. Not only when it comes to the RFE, but also the case itself. You know, she has a removal order, so I guess they have to collect all that information.
And it has to go up the chain of command. The officer who interviewed you is not going to be the person who makes the final decision.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good luck. Let's go to Mohammed in Dallas.
Hello.
Hi, Mohammed. How are you?
Yes, I'm absolutely fine. Thank you so much, sir, for letting me speak to you.
My pleasure. What's going on?
Yes, sir. I have one question, and actually, I have a pending asylum for more than 2 years, and I never got my first interview. So, in the meantime, I got married to a U.S. citizen, and within less than 6 months, the marriage was really abusive, and it was verbal abuse, psychological abuse, and a lot of, so when I confronted cheating, I was actually threatened to be deported if I actually do anything to the person who is cheating, who she was cheating on me. So I do have a voice recordings. I started recording at a certain level.
So file the VAWA case. Don't let her threaten you.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
And I applied for a VAWA.
Okay.
And I do have a medical records. I do have.
What is your question for me? Tell me what your question is.
Yeah, my question is that voice recordings, I send those voice recordings to USCIS in a transcript in written format because they don't accept digital format like USB or a CD. So I did that. Is that a good proof?
Not particularly, because you can write whatever you want.
Okay.
So no,
I can back it up with a voice recording.
I think what's good proof is a good detailed story from you what happened.
Okay. Okay. My second question is that what do I do if I receive interview for asylum? Should I ask them to wait for me?
You have to go for your asylum interview. But if you filed it in 2017, you're not going to get it for a while.
Okay. That's answer one question. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Good luck. Let's go to Mohammed in Nairobi, Kenya. Mohammed.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Actually, I had filed for my daughter while I was a green card holder.
I'm sorry, say it again?
And I had filed for my daughter while I was a green card holder.
You filed for your daughter while you were a green card holder?
Yeah, and she was 17 at that time. She got her 130 approved and did her interview.
Right.
So right now I got my citizenship and she's over 21 because her case has been under admitting processing. So my question is, will my citizenship affect her or it's going to help her?
Well, she's over 21, so she sounded like she's in the F2B category. Now she's in the F1 category, so it'll make it go a little faster.
Okay, so it will be faster.
Should be. But she's on a waiting list. When did you file for her?
I filed for her in 2016.
Okay, so she's still going to probably wait another year or so, but hopefully soon.
Okay, thank you very much. But can I choose to remain on the same future category 9?
Can you stay in what? In the
What
F2B
if I don't want to
category?
upgrade? What if...
If the F2B category is faster than the F1 category, at this very moment, you just write the National Visa Center and say you're electing to stay in the F2B category.
So now my question was, will my citizenship help her or affect her right now?
Let me see what the priority dates are. You're asking me which one is faster. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
So let's see.
Yeah.
The visa bulletin, you can Google it yourself. And the visa bulletin says for December 2021, F1 category is December 1st, 2014. F2B is September 22nd, 2015. You want to elect to stay in the F2B category. So you're going to write the National Visa Center and say you are choosing to elect to stay in the F2B category despite the fact that you are a U.S. citizen now. It will make it go faster.
So I have the opportunity to tell them that, right?
Correct. You have to write them and tell them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right, good luck. Let's go to Christopher in the Bronx. Hi, Christopher.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I just want to tell you that thanks for the advice the other day, and big up Yonathan, and I finally get my work permit.
All right, wonderful. Well, I don't know what was my advice. What did I tell you?
No, you tell me that I'm going to get it in December.
So I was right. The magic 8 ball is always right. I don't know, but I would think the magic 8 ball rubbed off on me.
So I just want to tell you,
all right, well, congratulations.
Yes, sir, and keep up the great job, okay?
Thank you very much. Thanks for calling and letting us know. All good news.
All right. All right.
So last call, Marlon in Mount Vernon, New York. Marlon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
How are you?
Good. I just want to find out how long it takes for I-130 to be approved filing for a mom.
Filing for your mom?
Yes.
Your mom's filing for you or you're filing for mom?
I'm filing for her.
Where is she? In another country?
Jamaica.
Yeah, they're taking 18 months probably right now. Yeah. How long have you been waiting?
March.
Wait, you're breaking up. How long have you been waiting?
Since March.
Okay, so yeah, you're not going to hear anything till at least the summer.
Okay, thank you.
All right, hang in there. All right, and by the way, good news, Yonathan.
What's up?
You already know this good news. If you didn't get your immigration question asked and answered, you could always follow me on at Real Brad Bernstein. We're back at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram.
Ooh, we are.
That's right. You can drop your DM. I was off for a couple weeks.
Yeah. How'd that feel?
it was like I was like a meth addict without my drugs.
Yeah.
I was shaking after a while. But I finally, thank you very much. I finally got my Instagram account back.
We're happy about that.
Yes, I put in a call to Mark Zuckerberg. I said, listen, Zuck, you don't do something very soon, we're going to come up with a name for you, just like we did for Trump.
You know what that tells me?
What?
I might pick you over Kim Kardashian now.
So yeah, I was off. I was disabled.
Yeah.
We finally figured it out. I'm back. So you can drop your DMs. Ask me your question if you didn't get on our show. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. You follow us at Brad Show Live. You don't like 2 hours of us. Lots of people do. But if you don't and you can handle 30 seconds of us, follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. You can also follow us on TikTok, our fastest growing social media platform. You could leave your questions for me there, and you may very well get a personalized video response by me to you that hundreds of thousands of people will see.
Yep, and you guys can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And later in the show, Yonathan's going to test Hector America to see if they can pass the USCIS Stokes interview in a new edition of Bradified Marriage.
Yep, and in today's Schmooze, we discussed that research indicates there are roughly 218,000 U.S. residents who are stateless or at risk of statelessness. In today's VIP outtake, Brad speaks with Rebecca and John Trimble, who only found out that she was stateless and undocumented as they were preparing for their honeymoon. Check it out.
How did you guys meet?
In high school.
High school sweethearts? So at what point now do you say, all right, I got to deal with my wife's immigration issue? When did you guys start to deal with it?
Well, I mean, we tried to deal with it as soon as we reasonably could. So she found out a few months before we got married. And I mean, honestly, at the time when I found out, I thought it was kind of ridiculous, you know, because I knew she had been here since she was a baby, you know, and I was like, how can this, you know, is this real, you know, like, are we really going to have to, it seemed like it would be an easy fix. They were threatening to deport my wife, who had been here her whole life, foreign country. I said to myself, nobody's going to come take my wife without other people knowing about this story, essentially. So I contacted the reporter in Anchorage. He put together a story, and then about 2 weeks later, he published it. I mean, that's kind of what started this chain of events, you know.
I understand there's no record of actually where you were born. The government, even if they wanted to deport you, can't deport you anywhere because let's assume the government says you're from Mexico. We don't even know if you're from Mexico or not. Mexico has to accept you and say yes and agree you're a citizen of Mexico, but there's no record of your birth there. So the government just can't dump you off in Mexico just because they say you're Mexican. So there's lots and lots of people in the United States of America who have actually been ordered deported, but are stateless people. The government can't prove where they were born. So the worst case scenario would never come true, which is no one's going to be taking your wife away from you.
We're back.
We are back.
All right, let's do social media check-in. Come on, Yonathan. Social media check-in.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, first one, Anna Lee Parker, a Facebook VIP member. My friend is on a student visa. She's in legal status. Now, can her boyfriend, who's a green card holder, file for her? The green card holder recently did his fingerprints for citizenship. So should they wait until he becomes a citizen?
No, get married right now, as long as you've been in the United States for more than 90 days. And let your boyfriend, who would then become your husband, file an adjustment while you're in legal status. You don't have to wait on his citizenship.
What documents?
A marriage certificate, proof she's in legal status.
Or what documents should they file?
Oh, in a total adjustment application.
Okay.
Okay.
And a prankster.
Ah.
On TikTok.
Random.
Uh-oh. Right. What's the easiest visa to get? The student visa or the tourist visa?
Well, both require non-immigrant intent. Tourist visa requires a return plane ticket, that you're a tourist. Mm-hmm. Student visa requires you to actually get accepted to a college. So since they both have non-immigrant intent, and one just requires a plane ticket and one requires college admission, I'd say tourist visa.
Right. All right, Lee on YouTube. What documents do I need to include with the I-130 petition for my mother? She's in Jamaica and I'm a U.S. citizen.
Your birth certificate showing she's your mom. Her birth certificate proving she is who she is. If there's a marriage certificate between you, between her husband, who is your father or stepfather, we need marriage certificates, divorce decrees, as well for the I-130. That would be it. You just have to prove your relationship.
Okay, Decor Noor on YouTube. I filed in for my daughter. Hey. Me.
There you go. Thank you.
All right. I filed in for my daughter while I was a green card holder, and she got her I-130 approved. She was 17, and now I got my citizenship, and she's over 21. What will happen to her case?
Yeah, she's in the F2B category. I spoke to him on the phone from Nigeria.
Oh, okay. That's the person. Okay, Rez1 Vision on YouTube. How soon will I get my green card? Any speculation? I submitted the I-693. I'm on an EB3 petition. I was approved I-140. I'm from Bangladesh and concurrently applied. I-485 receipt notice is November 2nd, 2020.
I don't know when you're going to get your green card. I don't have the slightest idea. But what he said was that he filed an adjustment and an I-140 based on a job sponsorship.
Okay. Rosemarie Chin on YouTube. How long will it take before I can get an answer from USCIS? F2B category, my priority date is 2017. USCIS request evidence. They received it on March 1st, 2021.
I guess you're talking about an I-130 that's been pending for 4 years. Should be approved soon.
Ahmad Khan on YouTube. I came to the U.S. on an ESTA visa from the UK. Can I marry my girlfriend? She's a U.S. citizen.
As long as it's more than 90 days after you entered, the answer is yes, because then you're past the misrepresentation point, and because you came out in ESTA, you were inspected. Even though you may be out of status at that point, you marry a U.S. citizen, you can adjust your status.
Consular on YouTube. I'm a green card holder. Can I file for my 13-year-old daughter who's here on vacation from Jamaica?
Yes, and if she's in legal status and here for more than 90 days, you file her adjustment.
Tejas Chauhan on Facebook. I applied for a U visa in 2019 and now the rules have changed. When can I get my work permit?
Now you can request a review to make sure that you have a bona fide U visa application, submit your I-765 work permit, and cross your fingers.
Kadian Adekoya on Facebook. What evidence can I take to my marriage-based interview while I'm still waiting on my work permit approval?
Proof that you and your husband live in the same home.
Last one, Senior Designer Edition on YouTube. I sent an inquiry to NVC because they have my class visa type wrong. Instead of F1, they have F3. But I saw they were still at October reviewing inquiries, and it's their mistake. What should I do?
Well, hopefully you'll hear from them very shortly. As long as your priority date's not current, don't freak out. If your priority date's current, then freak out. And at that point, keep writing them and harassing them and calling them.
All right.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah, so that was pretty good. And now what are we about to do?
We are about to do our Bradified Marriage Game.
Okay. Oh,
so,
yes.
Yes, for today's Hump Day, we have a new game of Bradified Marriage. Yonathan, you remember?
I do remember
You went
this.
on the streets, you met Hector, you met America.
I like them.
A couple visiting New York City from San Diego.
Yep.
And you tested them to see if they could pass a United States Citizenship and Immigration Services Stokes marriage interview. Let's see how they did.
What's up, Brad Squad? It's your boy, Yonathan Elias. I'm back out in the streets. It feels great. And we are here to play a game of Bradified Marriage. Now, when a citizen or permanent resident wants a petition for their spouse's green card, the immigration officers usually take them and separate them and ask them questions to see if they have a bona fide marriage. Now, this could be hard even for the closest couples. Now we're gonna hit the streets and we're gonna check out if these lovebirds can pass the Bradified marriage. Let's go. All right, y'all, I got my friends right here. How you guys doing?
Well, we're good, thank you.
How are you? I'm amazing. All right, so let everybody know your guys' name. Hector.
America.
And where are you guys from? San Diego.
San Diego.
Woo! So now, are you guys ready to play Bradified Marriage to see how well y'all know each other?
Yes, we are.
Yes. All right, how well do you guys think you're gonna do?
We're gonna do well.
I love that. I love the confidence. Okay, first question. How long have you been together?
We've been together since 2001. So this December will be 20 years.
20 years.
There we go. Okay, I love it. Now, where did you meet?
Babies R Us, Van Nuys, California.
Babies are us.
Okay, now, you guys married?
Yes.
How many people attended your wedding?
150.
Oh, that was like 160 plus?
All right. How many times a week on average do you eat out?
3.
I want to say like at least 3.
Okay. What is your favorite restaurant for special occasions?
Okay, for special occasions, let's go with, she's going to say Chili's.
Oh, I don't think we have one.
This was a hard one for him as well.
Can I pass on that one, or do I have to add?
Then you would lose the point. Just might as well
okay.
think. Just go down deep in your mind.
Chili's?
So, what is your significant other's favorite and least favorite food?
That's changed over the course of the years, you know, because our palates have changed. So now her favorite meal would be plain old rice and beans.
Nice.
My favorite food is my nana's tamales.
Okay.
Least favorite food, she's gonna say curry.
Least favorite food, octopus?
Okay, now your favorite and least favorite.
My favorite food is a steak.
Damn, he's not picky at all. He likes everything. I'm going to say tamales.
Okay, my least favorite would be squid or octopus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so he does not like menudo.
Okay. All right, how many brothers and sisters does she have?
She has 1 brother and 3 sisters.
5?
There you
go. And how many do you have?
I have 7.
8?
What is your bed size?
It is a California king.
Oh, it's a Cal King.
Is your sofa a regular one, or does it have a pull-out bed?
Regular.
My sofa is a regular sofa.
Have you ever had house guests sleep there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what's the most important holiday of the year for you guys? And where do you typically celebrate it?
Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna say for this year coming up, her sister being a brand new homeowner, is gonna be at her house.
Ooh.
That's the important place to celebrate it.
Thanksgiving.
Okay, and where?
My sister's new house.
Love it. Let's get him. Let's get him over here. We're gonna find out. Come on. Now this is good. Let's see if you guys will pass the Stokes interview.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to say the question. You guys say your answer at the same time. How long have you been together?
20 years.
Where did you meet?
Babies R Us.
How many people attended your wedding?
160 plus.
I mean, I'm on the green.
You're on. I'll give it. I'll give it. Okay. How many times a week, on average, do you eat out?
3.
What is your favorite restaurant for special occasions?
Chili's.
What is his favorite and least favorite food? So let's say favorite food.
Tamales.
I forgot a steak. I said a steak.
Oh, you said a steak.
Okay, his least favorite food.
Menudo.
I said squid or octopus.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now her favorite food.
I said rice and beans.
Oh, I said my nana's tamales.
Now her least favorite food.
Curry.
I said octopus.
I was like, you said his least favorite. Yeah, flipped it. All right. How many brothers and sisters does she have?
5.
Wait.
Because Denise and Issa, my...
Yeah.
Okay. How many brothers and sisters does he have?
8.
There we go. Okay.
I said 7 earlier, I'm sorry. I messed up.
I know you said that, and I was like, okay, but you saved it. All right. Now, what size is your bed?
Cal King.
Is your sofa a regular one, or does it have a pull-out?
Regular.
Have you had any house guests sleep there?
Yes.
Okay, last one. What's the most important holiday of the year for you guys? We'll say that first.
Thanksgiving.
And where are you gonna celebrate it?
My sisters.
I think this deserves a kiss and like a little dip or something. Yeah. Awesome. How you guys feel?
Oh, that was
Great.
easy.
That was
Simple.
Yeah.
It was simple.
Yeah.
I think you guys passed the Stokes interview. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we did great.
That's for naturalization.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for green card.
Okay, well, unique situation. I'm an immigrant. I was born in Mexico. We started dating, and she didn't know that I was not legal in this country. We were dating for some time. Once, at one point, I became a resident alien, and she kind of was taken aback, saying, "You weren't born here?" I said, "No, I was born in Mexico." She said, "Okay, well, if I would have known that, we would not have been dating." So anyways, I joined the military. She told me, get your citizenship on your own. I won't help you with that because I don't want you to use me. And I did. I became a citizen on my own through the military, and we've been happily ever after.
Yep.
True love right here.
Yep.
We love it. We love this. Well, there y'all have it. I met an amazing couple, and as you can see, the Stokes interview could be hard for even couples that know each other, but they did amazing. They passed, all right? So remember, before you go to your Stokes interview, practice with your partner. All right, back to the studio.
That was fun,
That was
Yonathan.
fun.
I like that
I
one.
like them.
Now, that was done over the summer.
Yeah, over
right?
the summer.
That was
That's why
that's
I
our
have
first
my-
time we've actually showed it, but that was done over the
That was
summer.
the first time I went out since
for COVID. That was your
yeah.
first. That was your first out in the streets.
Yes.
Since we came back. And
Yeah.
Since COVID, pandemic, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
All
And it was fun. That was
fun.
a good one.
And then it was cute at the end. Yeah, the
Right.
immigration story too.
Yeah, I didn't even ask for it.
Right.
He gave it.
but
She
I
was like, "Oh no."
But I was just telling Yonathan, I said, sometimes they do Stokes interviews where it's so obvious that they're in a real marriage.
Yeah.
Like that one, they would stop it very quickly. I said,
So they would stop
I said
it.
this would have been stopped, and they would have just got.
Oh yeah, because they were. Yeah, it was just like, okay. Especially when they got chilies. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was kind of funny. But I don't know if they would ever. I think that's an unfair question. I'll tell you.
I do too.
The unfair
Especially
question
the
is, what's your
food.
favorite food?
Yeah.
I think that's an unfair question.
Yeah, I don't like that question either.
All right, so
Are we ready?
we're ready. Woo!
We've been doing good so far. Are we gonna keep it up?
I hope so.
No. Are we going to keep it up?
I believe so.
No. Are we going to keep it
Yes,
up?
we will.
There we go.
Yes, we will. Yes, we
There
will.
we go.
How do you like that
I love it.
enthusiasm?
I love it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, don't show me. All right. Can a foreigner join the military?
No.
Can I enter the U.S. on a tourist? Oh,
Stop.
okay. Why?
Stop. It just the clock didn't go.
Oh. Okay, you're gonna tell me when it goes. Can a foreigner join the military?
It hasn't gone yet. Oh, now it goes.
Can a foreigner join the military?
Only if they're a lawful resident U.S. citizen.
Can I enter the U.S. on a tourist visa and apply for asylum?
Yes.
Is it advisable to file the M400 while 751 is pending?
If you're qualified, yes.
Can a migrant file without a lawyer successfully?
I've seen it happen.
I filed for VAWA. Can I work even with a previous green card denial?
Yes, because illegal employment doesn't prevent you from getting approved.
Can I apply for an H-1B visa if I'm out of status?
No.
When is the right month to file a renewal EAD expiring January 22?
4 months before.
Do I have to go back home if I marry a U.S. resident?
Not necessarily.
Can I leave the country safely with advanced parole after responding to RFE?
Of course you can.
Woo!
There you go,
Come on, man.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to tell you something.
What's up?
From now on, when I do this, I'm going to throw it out. I'm not going to say I hope so.
Right.
I'm not going to say I believe so. I'm going to say yes. Yes.
All of it.
Oh, and one more yes. Oh my God. All right, let's get to comments of the day. Comments of the day. That's
Got all the energy at the end of the show. All right. Our first comment of the day comes from Dion Reed saying, "Squad up, it's raining hump day here in Portmore, St. Catherine."
Oh, raining in Jamaica.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was usually sunny in Jamaica.
Yeah, it was raining in California actually yesterday, so. All
right, well, happy hump day though, okay?
A rainy hump day.
Yes.
All right, our second comment of the day comes from Stargirl Mika saying, "Brad cake next year for The Office."
Oh,
I would take Stargirl's cake.
Thank you. I would too.
Her rum cake. I'm sure it's a rum cake.
I know she's not poisoning me.
No.
Okay.
All right, our third comment of the day. Joan Erica saying, Brad, it's not that deep. Wear the glasses. It's not going to take away from your handsomeness.
Oh, thank you very much.
Look at you turning red.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And our last comment of the day comes from ET, and it's a long one saying, squad up, I had my interview today and got approved on the spot.
Yes.
Thank you to the Brad team. I got so much advice on this platform that I was able to file accurately, have a strong case. Thanks.
There you got it. Now, if that doesn't mean that every person who's filing for immigration, any application, whether they need a lawyer or not, shouldn't be watching the show, there you go.
There you have it.
There you have it.
Yes.
All right. Wacky World News tomorrow.
Going around the world.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.